Even before PHP 5.3, there was a very useful function called Parse Any File, which allowed you to read in any file with variables and very easily parse that. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how the new function in PHP 5.3, Parse Any String, does the same thing, but doesn't take it from a file, but from a string. So with the Parse Any File function, you first need an any file to parse. Let's say we have one called settings, and we have sections like this. And in this section general, we'll have, for instance, start record equals 45 and end record equals 99. This is the same syntax as, for instance, the PHP any file. You can make your own any files very easily, like this. And to read it in, you say, for instance, any array equals parse any file, and then you just say the name of the file, which is settings.any. So now we have an array, and if we print out this array, we will see that the variables that we put into the file are in this array now. So let's check that. We'll go to the browser here in F5. Yes, indeed they are, start record and end record. And there is a nice setting with Parse Any File. If you say true here for include the groups, I'll press F5 here, and you see that it brought in the group general, and inside that are two items, start record and end record. And that is the same as in Parse Any String as well. So now that we have it reading out of a file, let's do the same thing with a string. The reason why you would want to read out of a string is, for instance, that your any files have been saved in a database, for instance, and you're reading them right out of the database. So let's make an example of that. Let's just make a function called getAnyText from database, for instance. And in this, we'll mock up strings coming from a database. So we need a new line character here. And then we'll make a text that's like the other one we had. Let's call it something different so that we can see that it changes. For instance, a group basics. And we'll add the new line character. And then on the second line, we'll be coming, for instance, start record equals 1. And add the new line. And then we'll have end record, and that'll be 10, for instance, with the new line, and we'll return that string. So now, instead of saying parse any file, we're going to comment that out and say the any array equals parse any string. And we'll give it the string, which is just this function. And that should be it. Let's take a look at that in the browser. F5, and we have the start record and end record from the string. And you see that in any string, you can also say to parse the groups. F5, and it parses the groups as well. So with Parse Any String in PHP 5.3, you have the same functionality as the Parse Any File, just that you can now read strings, for instance, out of the database.